You are listening to Weight Loss Made Real, and this is episode 239. I'm your host, Master Weight Loss Coach and author, Cookie Rosenblum. Today and every Tuesday, I am here to be your guide and your coach to help you end that stress eating, that emotional eating, and lose that extra weight. If you just found me, welcome. And if you're a regular listener, welcome back. Here is where we talk together to end your emotional eating and habitual overeating, and it's the main focus of all the work I do. This is weight loss for the thinking woman who's smart enough to know what doesn't work and is willing to dig a little deeper to make lasting change. And I think that thinking woman is you. Here is where coaching meets psychology and psychology meets brain science, and this is where your problem ends. This episode is brought to you by the Freedom Group, where real change takes place, with me as your coach. The Freedom Group is a monthly membership for smart women who want to stop overeating from stress and from habit and are ready to make space for more happiness in their life. You can learn more about the Freedom Group at weightlossmadereal.com/group or check out the show notes. Now, today we're going to talk about the law of attraction and weight loss. Some of you have heard the term law of attraction. And today we're going to talk about what it is and how you could look at it and connect it with one of the biggest goals, because I know that you're here to either change the way that you eat or possibly to lose some extra weight. Do you remember the book called The Secret? It's by Rhonda Byrne, and it was written way back in 2006. Simply put, the premise of law of attraction is that your thoughts create your reality. Law of attraction talks about manifesting your desires, how to get what you really, really want. So what does that mean, to manifest something? It means to create it, to bring it into your awareness, to make something real, to help it go from an idea to an actual result. So some people think that this is kind of woo-woo, very mystical, and some people think it's science. I want you to listen today and you decide. I'm not here to change what you think about the law of attraction, but I want to talk about how things really are created in your life, regardless of what you think about law of attraction as a concept. I want you to learn how to get more of what you want and less of what you don't want, and to understand that most things in your life have been created by you, some knowingly and some unknowingly. If you are a listener of my podcasts up till now, you know that I teach a fundamental and very basic understanding of how our minds work. Your thoughts create your reality, right? So how do they do this? Well, your thoughts lead to your feelings and then to your choices. And your choices are what create the life that you have today, right? That's what you get. Something happens, you have a thought about it, that creates an emotion for you, then you do something or don't do something, and you get your end result. You are creating something. It may be something that you want, and it may be something that you don't want, and you may be totally unaware that you're doing it. But that's what we're going to do today. We're going to gain awareness. So let's look at some examples. How do you manifest something? It does sound kind of magical, doesn't it? How do you manifest something that you really want? You want something, a goal, a dream, a desire. Here's what I want. And then you start thinking about what you will do to get it. You think about it. You might make a plan to reach it, and you start taking action that will help you get there, get to your goal, to your dream. Now, eventually you will get there or you won't. But wait, you might reach your goal or you might not. How does that work? Okay, let's go back again and reiterate, you know that most everything that happens to you that you have any control over and in is always because of your thoughts. Let's take an example. Let's say that your goal is to run a marathon. Now, if you don't relate to that at all and it's too big and you can't even imagine having that being your goal, then let's look on a smaller scale. Let's try to run. That's your goal, to just try running or even walking. So you think about what your goal is, you get excited, and you create a plan. And from the plan, you start taking action. Maybe you sign up for a race or for a group that's running or walking together. Maybe you create a walking or running schedule and you start using your schedule and walking or running according to your plan. It feels good. You feel motivated. You feel excited, and you keep doing it. One day you don't feel like running, but you do it anyway. You're still going strong. On another day, you don't feel like running or walking, and you don't. You skip it because you think, oh, tomorrow I'll get back on track. Maybe you do, and maybe you don't. Does that sound familiar so far? Your thoughts are, my goal is to start running or walking. I need to do it today to stick to my schedule. Some days you think, I don't want to run today. I don't want to walk today. And you feel tired, mentally or physically, but you run anyway because you feel tired and you think thoughts that motivate you to do it anyway. So the action you take is you run or walk as planned. Now, on some days you think, I don't want to run or walk, and you feel tired or unmotivated, and you start thinking differently. Tomorrow I'll do it. I just feel sick. It doesn't hurt to skip a day. And those kinds of thoughts back up your unmotivated feeling. So what's the action you take? No action. You take inaction. You don't run. You don't walk. We all know what happens if there are too many non-action days because they add up and you give up on your goal. Your thoughts about walking or running lead to how you feel about it, and they lead you to do it or not do it. Your results can be just what you wish for or the opposite of what you want. But either way, you are manifesting a result. Your thoughts create your reality. That's how you manifest what you want and also how you manifest what you have in your life today. The negative and the positive. You can understand this example, and I know that you've experienced many things like that in your life, and yet not everyone can actually see that they're creating their future with their thoughts. And if you can't see that you create things by using your thinking, you're going to feel at the mercy of life, at the mercy of luck, and at the mercy of forces that are out of your control. Now, maybe that's how you thought in the past, but now you know better because we're taking it apart. Whatever you focus on, the thoughts that you think create what you have in your life today. It's also said that what you focus on grows. So you want to lose weight, maybe you want to change how you eat and lose the drama, and you spend all of your waking moments focusing on how much you weigh and how much you hate your weight and how much you hate yourself for being the way you are with food, and you're frustrated. But I want you to step back and see that you might be focusing those thoughts on what you do not want instead of on what you do want. And that focus keeps you thinking about eating more than you need. That focus keeps you struggling with your food, struggling with your eating, and not liking yourself because you're focusing on what you don't want and you're going to create more of it. You are manifesting something that you don't want. So what are you manifesting through the law of attraction in your life right now with your thinking? Is it what you actually want, or is it what you do not want? Let's look at your weight loss goal. How did you manifest your current weight? Because before we talk about getting to a new weight or learning different ways to eat or any new result, I want you to see If your thoughts create your reality, and your reality is your current weight, then what thoughts got you here? What feelings got you here? What actions got you here? What inactions got you here? Those things all added up to manifest your current weight. We're not talking about blame. We're just owning responsibility for where we are. Everything counts and everything adds up. Remember the math of weight loss from episode 98. Everything that you do counts, and it gives you a result whether you like it or not. When my Freedom Group members first join us, they discover that they've been thinking a whole lot of things that have created their current weight. Your starting thought might be, I plan to eat healthy today. But then somebody brings in treats into the office and you think, oh, this won't hurt much. Or I'll make up for it in the way that I eat later. And you eat one. Or maybe you even eat two. And don't forget, in this example, you're not even hungry. You might have other thoughts like my members have, like, I'm too tired to cook dinner. And that makes you feel uncaring and defeated. So what do? You just grab fast food on your way home. That manifests the result of you staying where you are. You might have a thought of, oh, I deserve this. And that thought makes you feel entitled. So you kind of ignore your goals. And that manifests more of the same, staying stuck. You might have the thought, well, I don't want to waste this food, and that's going to make you feel compelled to eat more than you need. So you finish what's on your plate, even though your body doesn't need the food. And where does that get you? What does that manifest? Again, more of the same, staying where you are. You might have a thought like, hey, it's just a little taste. This doesn't count. You keep eating, and you keep manifesting being stuck. You might have a thought, it's a special occasion, and you might feel like you now have permission to eat more than you need, and you're justifying what you're doing by thinking, well, this is an exception. But the reality is you think that often. The reality is you do that often, and the result that you're manifesting is to keep that weight on and maybe keep adding some extra. So what I want you to do now is to ask yourself, what are the thoughts that you're thinking regularly? And what happens after you think those thoughts? I want you to pay attention, because how you react to those thoughts that you're creating very quietly, you may not notice them, how you react to those thoughts are what lead to the results you have today. So, if you want to manifest a different reality, a different way, what would need to change? Well, your thoughts to begin with, of course, but that's why it's important first to notice what your current thoughts are that are creating your current reality. Those thoughts are attracting or leading you to or manifesting, however you want to think of it, what you have and where you are right now. For example, if you typically think, I deserve this, and that thought leads you to eat a food that you don't need or eat a larger serving than you need, what could you think instead? And what would that new thought lead you to do instead of eating? It would manifest something different. It would give you a new result, right? This takes practice. You see your current thoughts before you try to change them. Your current thoughts have been going around and around in your mind for a pretty long time. The more you practice your current thoughts that create what you have right now, the stronger these thoughts become, and the more they just begin to feel like facts. Practice noticing the connection between your thoughts and your actions. Just notice before you even begin to think about changing. If you want to manifest a new result, a new reality, then your feelings will change from the thinking, and they will lead you to take new actions. So if you want to get something different, you want to do something different, you need to think something different. Remember, awareness has to come first. You do not have to feel powerless and cross your fingers and wish for what you want. It doesn't work, does it? Nothing happens, or if it does, it's maybe just by chance. You have to create what you want. And this is great news because it puts you in charge of your life and in charge of your results. You do this by first accepting that you are always the creator of your life, that you are already really good at creating everything that you have. So even if you're not happy with some part of your life, you need to own your hand in its creation. Remember, no blame, just awareness and responsibility so that you could change and move on. You're just dealing with facts about what is. And all of this, I hope, helps you know and believe that you've already created what you have. But if you want to create something different, you absolutely can. What you think and what you focus on, create it today, and a different tomorrow is possible by thinking and focusing on different things. So this week, I want you to look around at your life, at your weight, at your eating, at your situation in general. Do you love it? Or are there things that you wish were different? And if there are, I want you to work backwards and start looking at how you created what you have today. Without judgment, without blame, with curiosity and compassion for yourself, because we all do the best we can with what we know in the moment. Okay, my friend, you know what you're going to stay focused on and what you will want to think about this week. I want to make sure you know that right now you can get a free gift from me for being a loyal listener. And it is a book that I wrote called Clearing Your Path to Permanent Weight Loss. You need to learn why you overeat before you can solve the problem of the extra weight. And this book will help you do that. So you can figure out the answer to the big question, which for a lot of us is, why did I just eat that? Remember, your goal is not to just lose weight, but to lose the whole problem. This is a full-length book that's just for you as a download. Take a look at the show notes to get it, or just go to weightlossmadereal.com/book, and I will send it to you. I hope to see you back here next week where we will continue to work on your emotional eating and everything that you've manifested up to now that you want to change step by step until all those old habits become something that you used to do. We know that's your ultimate goal. For now, this is your Coach Cookie reminding you that as you search for answers, keep it real, just like you. And I will see you next week.